There we go. Why is that not working? Worked yesterday. I guess I got plugged in directly. There we go. Hey. Everything's gold. Okay, Bob. Studies. Character of God word. Ooh, the character of God word series. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm excited for this.
The Bible is a collection of many ancient Israelite scrolls, and together they're telling one unified story.
Now, if you look at the second scroll, Exodus, you'll find two important sentences. They're actually so important that they're referenced and requoted over 20 more times within the Bible itself.
It must be important. What does it say?
Yahweh, Yahweh, that's God's name, a God compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, overflowing with loyal love and faithfulness.
I can see why it's repeated so often. These attributes of God are really lovely.
And the statement goes on. He maintains loyal love for thousands, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin. Yet he won't declare innocent the guilty. He will bring the iniquities of the fathers upon the children and grandchildren to the third and the fourth.
Okay, hold on. This last part takes a bit of a turn. We're first talking about God's love, and suddenly it's about his judgment on grandkids? So, is God merciful or vengeful?
Yeah, great question. Let's see these words in a larger context by looking at something important in Genesis, the first scroll of the Bible. There, God chooses one family, the Israelites, from among the nations, and he promises that he's going to rescue the whole world through this family somehow.
And Genesis ends with the family of Abraham in Egypt.
Then the book of Exodus begins, and this book has two large movements.
Right, okay, so this first movement of Exodus, God rescues Israel from slavery in Egypt.
And in the second movement, God leads them to Mount Sinai, where they camp out for a year. And God invites this whole nation into a partnership called a covenant, so that they can be shaped by his values and character.
And represent God to all the other nations.
Exactly. Now, this whole Mount Sinai movement in Exodus can be broken up into four literary units. First, there's the actual ceremony where the Israelites agree to be God's partners. And God sets up the terms of the relationship, starting with the 10 Commandments. The first two are,
don't give your allegiance to other gods, and don't make any idol images of God. Seems simple enough.
After that, God shows Moses detailed blueprints for building this sacred home so that God can come and live among them.
Oh, right, and then comes a really long narrative about the building of that sacred home.
But you missed something. Right in between these sections is the story that has our description about God's character. The story begins with Moses going up on the mountain, writing down the partner agreement, as the Israelites are at the base of the mountain, violating the first two commands.
That's ridiculous. They're breaking the covenant vows while the ceremony is still going on.
Yes. And so God is hurt and angry, and he warns Moses that this betrayal will keep on happening. God is ready to call it quits.
But what about his promise to rescue the world through them?
Yeah, exactly. This is what Moses brings up. And so, what is God going to do? Should he end the partnership, which would be fair?
Or will he be faithful to his promise to Abraham and show them mercy?
Yeah, exactly. Now, look back at the words that we began with, and you'll see they're about this very tension between God's mercy and his justice.
Okay, so the statement opens like this: a God compassionate and gracious.
In Hebrew, this line has three words that rhyme. El Rahum V'Chanun. And the line overflowing with loyal love and faithfulness matches the first, as it also has 3 Hebrew words, Rav Chesed ve'emet.
Each of those lines have 2 attributes of God, and they surround a 5th attribute, that God is slow to anger.
Right. Now, that's the first half of this description of God. Then comes the second half. God maintains loyal love for thousands. And how is he going to remain loyal to people who keep rebelling against him? By forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin.
But God's forgiveness doesn't mean people can just do whatever they want.
Right. God's mercy is balanced in what follows. Yet he won't declare innocent the guilty. He'll bring the iniquities of the fathers upon the children and grandchildren to the 3rd and the 4th.
The 3rd and the 4th, what?
Well, it's referring to generations of people who repeat their ancestors' rebellion against God. They'll get what they deserve. But notice, this small number of generations contrasts that massive number up above.
God's loyal love to thousands.
Right. And then check this out. God's forgiveness of iniquity in this line is contrasted with his justice on iniquity in this line.
Okay, and all those lines are surrounding a central line here about God's justice. He will not declare innocent the guilty. So while God is slow to anger, he is also just.
Right. This is the tension that these 2 sentences are exploring. How does a faithful and loyal God deal with such a rebellious people? This is the challenge God faces in this story, and it's the same challenge he faces in the whole biblical story as he works to rescue the world through this family.
With that in mind, we can take a closer look at these 5 attributes that God declares about himself to Moses. A God compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, overflowing with loyal love and faithfulness.
And we'll see how each one leads us deeper into the character of God and into the story of the Bible.
All right. What's your takeaway? What stood out to you about God and what we just watched? Yeah, loyal love. Chesed. You gotta like chesed. That's like Hebrew, like we don't have too much where it's called a glottal stop where you like sounds like you're about to spit, you know. So you know what's crazy is that what we just watched is one of the most referenced throughout. Yep, it is referenced all over the place. And they'll actually say, Yahweh, is this how you describe yourself? Shouldn't you be this? Please be this. We need this. And so it's like, this is how our God describes himself. Ah, so good. All right. All right. Read our section. All right, we are at. Ooh, that's a good one. All right. 1 Samuel. Oh, I see. The speaker broke and it's not picking up Logan. Beep, bada, boo. That should fixed it.
Yep.
There we go. All right. Share. Screen 1. Here we go.
Share screen.
Jesus, you're for amazing. Thank you. Thank you for your covenant love, your steadfast love. What was the other word? How to describe it in the video we just watched? It's like multiple ways to translate it. Do you remember? See? Well, I usually like remember as steadfast love. Um, I know the Hebrew is like I have an easier time remembering the Hebrew than the translation of it. Chesed. So thank you for your chesed, King Jesus. Thank you that you partner with humanity, even in our waywardness. You just keep on. You just love and give. That's your disposition. To keep on giving. You're the one who always steps your foot out to try to repair the relationship. You don't wait for us to, because if you waited for us to, we'll never walk to you. So thank you. May we just humble ourselves to read the writings of the ancients from a different, strange time and place. But yet we know that there is bodes of wisdom in it. And so we first thank you for your death and resurrection. May thank you for you being the way. Not that you have made a way like all the other religious teachers in the world of all the other religions. You're saying, hey, go this way. I've done it. Go this way. But no, you said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And you just call us to believe what you did and declare it good. And we are a part of the renewed project that you're starting. We have moments of refreshment now. We look for the ultimate refreshment. So may you be the beauty of our eyes always, so that we can be part of your renewal project. We don't hurt ourselves from hearing from you, from sin. We stay away from it. Because the closer we get to you, the more we become like you, and we are part of your kingdom movement. Amen. Is Saul among the prophets too? Samuel got a flask of oil and poured it on Saul's head and hugged him and said, Yahweh has indeed anointed you as ruler over his own people. When you go from me today, you'll come across 2 men by Rachel's tomb in the territory of Benjamin at Thilsa. They will say to you, the donkeys that you went to look for have shown up. Now your father has given up talking about the donkeys and is anxious about you, saying, what should I do about my son? You'll pass on from there and come to the oak at Tabor. 3 men will meet you there, coming up to God to Bethel, one carrying 3 kid goats, one carrying 3 loaves, and one carrying a skin of wine. They'll ask you if you're doing well, and they will give you 2 loaves. You are to accept them from their hand. After this, you'll come to God's hill, where the Philistine outpost is. When you come into the city there, you'll encounter a group of prophets coming down from the high place, with banjos, tambourines, pipes, and guitars in front of them. They will be prophesying. Yahweh's Spirit will erupt on you, and you will prophesy with them. You will turn into another man. When these signs have come about for you, do what your hand finds to do, because God will be with you. God will be with you. You are to go down ahead of me to Gilgal. There I'll be going down to you to offer up burnt offerings and to sacrifice fellowship offerings. You are to wait 7 days until I come to you and make known to you what you are to do. As he turned round to leave Samuel, God changed Saul's spirit. All these signs came about that day. The people said to one another, what is this that has happened to the son of Kish? Is Saul among the prophets too? One person from there answered, and who is their father? Thus it became a saying, is Saul among the prophets too? When he finished prophesying, he came to the high place. Saul's uncle said to him and to the boy, where did you go? He said, to look for the donkeys. When we saw they were not there, we went to Samuel. Saul's uncle said, do tell me what he said to you. Saul said to his uncle, he simply told us that the donkeys had shown up. As for the matter of the king's group, he did not tell him what Samuel said. So still, like, here's all these signs that Saul is being anointed king. For most of church history, visions and prophecies and miraculous healings have been uncommon events in the mainline churches. But during a time when I was teaching in England, they came to be more common once more, and we used to have prayer for healing in seminary chapel. On one occasion, I was praying for one of the students who was part of my pastoral care group, and had an image come into my mind of a boy walking through a shopping mall with his father. I thought to myself, if I was the sort of person who had visions or pictures, that would be one. But I'm not, so it obviously isn't. Nonetheless, I incorporated the image in my prayer. And after the service, the student came to see me, very excited because that image had been such a help to him. It was a thing that had brought him some emotional healing. I realized I had become someone who did have pictures or visions. There was a sense in which I had become a different person. For me and for Saul, an experience of that kind comes not in order to give us a spiritual experience, but because of something God wants to do for other people. The day before Saul showed up, God had told Samuel he was to anoint Saul as ruler over Israel in the Old Testament. Anointing is a rite that involves smearing olive oil on the head of someone or on an object when the person or the object is dedicated to God or commissioned to a new function. Most often in the Old Testament, it is priests who are anointed, but here it happens to a person designated to as king. And the term anointed one often most refers to the king. Yet, because anointing can be applied to other people, it will not be immediately obvious what is signified. Hence, Samuel makes explicit that Saul is anointed as ruler, as is the case with other observances, such as baptism or a wedding. Both symbolic actions and words play a part. The physical action is necessary because we are physical people. The words are necessary because without them, the action will be opaque in meaning. God graciously grants Saul not only the ceremony act, but also some other signs. He'll meet some people who will tell him the donkeys have shown up, and some other people who will give him some bread. Saul and the boy will need some sustaining on the journey home. The fulfillment of these prophecies will be impressive in itself. The third sign is more telling. It will take place near the location of the Philistine outpost. In passing, this note reveals the justification in the people's desire to find deliverance from the Philistines. Here in the heart of the mountain country is a Philistine outpost. There Saul will meet a group of prophets who have been at a local sanctuary. A little like Samuel in the previous chapter, perhaps they had been there for a community celebration like the one Saul got caught up in. If so, presumably they were making music and prophesying when they were at the celebration, and they are continuing to do so as they go home. Their celebration was not confined to the occasion of worship. Our picture of prophets is shaped by the accounts of individuals such as Isaiah and Jeremiah, but the Old Testament refers to various other sorts of prophets. If these prophets were the kind of people who could bring a word from God to a person, as Samuel did, it is not what they are doing here. Prophesying is something more like speaking in tongues. I also thought I was not the kind of person who spoke in tongues, but in due course I found I sometimes did. Perhaps a reference to musical instruments implies it is something more like singing in the spirit, as sometimes happens in church today when people sing together in unplanned and extempore fashion. Say that right? Extempore. I gotta click it if I.
Extempore.
Extempore. Oh, I said that completely wrong. Extempore. Oh, so it's for the moment or impulse. Okay. Extempore. Extempore. All right, where was it, Char? Oh, here it is. Perhaps a reference to musical instruments implies it is something more like singing in the spirit, as sometimes happens in churches today when people sing together in unplanned and extempore fashion. Or perhaps that reference to music reflects the way the use of music can open people to supernatural influence. Modern translations sometimes use expressions such as speaking in ecstasy instead of prophesying, which makes clear that they are not prophesying in what is for us the classic sense. Though the disadvantage is that it implies they are out of control, which is not the case. At least when someone speaks in tongues, it does involve God's Spirit erupting on them. Something extraordinary happens that invites a supernatural explanation. It is not just ordinary human speech. There can be sometimes contagious about it. Saul indeed catches their spirit and is in turn into another man, a different kind of person from what he was and what he would ever have envisioned being. God changes his spirit, more literally his heart, his inner person. Everybody can see that Saul is behaving in a way that belies what they thought about him. As Saul among the prophets too, evidently became a familiar saying, and this story is one setting where the question is appropriate, and it will reoccur in another setting in 1 Samuel chapter 19. And who is their father? is a more obscure question. Maybe it links with the way a group of prophets can be called the sons of the prophets, which might imply that their leader could be seen as their father. That might in turn imply that Saul is being seen as the prophet par excellence, and that the saying expresses even more astonishment that this has come about with Saul of all people. The point about the experience is to give Saul evidence that God is with him, and not simply so that he can be grateful for a nice experience. It is because there are things he is going to find himself doing or challenged to do, and he could be tempted to think, "I couldn't do that." Indeed, he had said to Samuel, "I'm just a member of the smallest of the 12 clans." That was certainly true, and I am a member of the smallest kin group within Benjamin. We can't check on whether that was a false modesty. God's granting him this experience is designed to forestall such talk. God will be with you. Or God is with you is a classic Old Testament promise that God gives people when placing some impossible prospect or task in front of them. What you are is irrelevant. The fact that God is with you, of which this experience gives evidence, is what counts. Meanwhile, Saul is away for Samuel at Gilgal, down in the Jordan Valley, and thus off to the east, as far away as you can get from the Philistine center of power on the Mediterranean to the west. There Samuel will fulfill his priestly role of praying for the army, making the offerings that accompany such prayers, and meditating God's instructions about a battle, before Saul fills his more kingly role of actual leading the army in the battle. This division of responsibilities is important, but will be tricky for Saul and future kings to maintain. All right, friend, we can start. Oh, no.
Does Charlie want to play Elden Ring?
Say, does Charlie?
Yeah.
Ask you if you like to play Elden Ring.
Back today.
After this allotment, if you want to, I'll be down. But he said not today.
Okay.
Huh. This game was made in Austria.
Huh. There's this cool new Pokemon game called Pal World. Did you see that?
It's blowing up on my news feed.
I haven't been looking at any of the news. This is new to me.
Hmm.
Oh gosh, is that a monkey with a assault rifle?
Yeah, it's like
It's so dumb.
it's like a survival game with Pokemon and guns and like everything that you think like in a world where there's such supernatural creatures. Like
Justin already has a bunch of hours on it.
Justin already does? Oh,
Yeah.
I guess he's been playing it.
I guess it came out on the 18th, so.
Yeah. All right. All right. Get some bombs.
Saul is such a weird character in the Bible.
Who? Oh, Saul. Oh, yeah.
Saul.
He's
It's like one of those. It's one of those books I need to reread and reread again, again and again, because I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, he kind of he's pretty promising at first, but he definitely screws the pooch. But then, like, he just acts like any other human ruler.
Yeah. And it also gives conquest to wise rulers like David, I guess. It's like a good introduction to David.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, like, it's almost was he any better?
Yeah, that's true.
And which it makes like people like, even though George Washington has all of his human like all of his human falls, like the fact that he like did not even seize on the more power and actually relinquish it is like it's a true moment actually in government history.
Yeah.
Like, actually, what's his face? Alexander Hamilton and his group was telling him he should be king. He was so popular. Just, it's easier to hold on to power when you see all your enemies are destroying the nation, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And actually, the king of Britain at that time was legitimately like he was amazed that George Washington relinquished power.
Wait, sorry, repeat that.
The prime minister of England at the time was amazed. The king was amazed.
Yeah.
Actually, the king was amazed that actually George Washington relinquished power.
Huh.
Oh my gosh, I'm talking. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the start with 5 experience after this. Increase attack speed with swords. Into cans, +2 to poison. Alright. Attack speed with swords.
Well, I'll be gone until next allotment. Then
Okay. Love you, man. Catch you later then.
if you want to DM me when you want to play.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay. See you then.
Yep.
I'll stay in the chat.
Alright. Let's do that. It's really it's the beginning of this game at the highest difficulty that is the hardest. You just gotta get the bill going. That'll work. meat. Oh yeah, I forgot. I want to switch that. It doesn't work. It's a mana. No. That's actually smart. Let's just do Oh my god. Ah. Get there. Keep forgetting. Good time to quickly fix that. I'll just take the free beginning reroll because it says I should be able to have a free reroll on the 4th one, but it's not giving me that. I see it at the very end. Means the last one probably. Oh. Maybe the weapons after this. Just weapons. Oh, I thought I had a dash. All right. I like to play on the edge. No, you not do that, especially on these high difficulties. Oh, sweet. Load up. All right. They're all garbage. Yeah, I guess. Oh. That is awesome. Alright, see if any of these have a lightning. Poison. Highest. Intellect. Divine. The resin. Sure. Darn it. I was hoping the third person would be there. Let's see what got me. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I forgot to check for. Darn it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. A lot more doable. Yeah. Ninja, Phoenix, Thief. I could have. Alright, let's sell away. Yeah. Hoping this pays off. We'll see. Yes. Well, let's go. But I'll take it. I'm a silly goose. Causing the poison. Alright. I'm not gonna. Oh, instant infusion. I see. In the money. Wait, what? Didn't see that. Didn't see whatever got me. All right. 1 second. I'll be back. Yeah, I just need someone to help my guy now. Let's do this. There's this. I'm not even getting to the place where I can. What's up? Sorry, what? Yeah. Being rubber, he heals like super resist electricity. Yeah, we did. I know. I just remember him beating him. Oh. There we go. Fixed. Now. Oh my gosh. I'm getting so reckless. It's called Tiny Rogues. Playing on the highest difficulty and slam my head against it. It's fun. You should try it. See something if I have something enabled. I think I get double the rewards from those chests if I blow them up. Let me look them up. That's good. Those Austria people did a good job. Bombing treasure chests, shrines in the arcade drops twice the amount. Okay. Remember to bomb that stuff. Chest, treasure chest, shrines. Okay. Ah. That's worth the curse. You're telling me if I bomb the shrine, I get double the shrine? Oh, that is cool. It's intensely good. You know, at this hardest difficulty, you're trying to min-max as fast as you can. For that kind of stuff, you gotta defeat bosses so fast. Otherwise, they just... Increase attack speed with swords. Increase effective auras. Alright. See if we get a sword. Chest, what do we have here? Ethro, 2 Ethros, 1 Obsidian. Alright. Ooh. You know what? For right now, do that. Shocking. Take it. Oh, I should have seen what's in here before I... Okay, they're all... Okay, +1. So the question is +1. Well, we'll sell them all. So let's say the pineapple can look like a seller. too much to sell yet. Oh. Nice, too. Now I'm ready to sell. Well, I'm telling you, if you play on the easier difficulties, let's remove that. If you play not DZ, but if you just play on normal difficulty, it's not so much easier. But I say Hades is a good game if you're not good to get really deep into. Because if you let the story just keep on trying. Enter the Gungeon is another good one. I say this is a good one too. Like I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, 16 senders, so it's rough beans, man. But that's because again, it's truly a bullet hell. It's like you really start experiencing patterns once you stay true to the once you start oh. What do we have here? Dash. Check the law shop. Oh. Undead, low capacity, strength. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, okay. What are you talking about? You're decent at bullet hells then. Batter's up. Alright, I need to go to a pawn shop. Eventually. So good on weapons. Ah, come on. Critical hits. All right. No mead. Damage. Yeah. I mean, can it have 4? All right. Hit 3. % damage. All right. Must have it in a cell, I guess. Oh, I forgot. Come on, little guys. All right, to war. I'll have to reroll. Take a look at another body armor. I just don't. I mean, there's nothing funny that happens. It's just you can only have so many tipping. Like tipping is means the max amount of fermented beverages you can have in your system.
Hello.
Hello. All right, Char, we're at time. I'm going to ask you to super hydrate, my friend. Per curse on you. Ooh. How
What
close
have
are
you
you?
guys been doing?
You're almost done with your quest?
What have you guys been doing for like game, like Uno?
Here to slay.
Oh, nice.
It just, that's funny. Eldon Lawn Warrior is like disappointed that nothing fancy happens when you have too much, when you go over your tippiness level. Hoping for a blackout or something. Oh, I want the curse now. Bring in the damage. Be a pawn shop. Coward's ring. Ah, dude, it's cool. I never played Arkvale. Yeah. So what's the plan with the fruit then? What time is it? 1. All right, so there's this allotment, but then not before next allotment. You're saying you'll have fruit? Okay. about that more news. Pineapple Canyon. Dude, you're cool, Elden Warrior. I was just, it made me chuckle deep down in my belly. Oh man, I'm such a silly goose. I made myself use my revive because I had 3 armor and I only have 1 heart. I'm good on bombs. I'll just pick up. Wait. Oh, silly goose me ran right into that. Oh, I forgot to sell the boots. Darn it. Oh, almost there. I need a key.
I love this music.
And Tiny Rogues?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So awesome.
again, don't play on the hardest difficulty, you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Like I'm also playing the Depraved where he's truly the he's like the dead baby almost in Binding of Isaac. Let's go for the charm. All right, Yahoo. Oh. I don't know what. Ah. Oh. Ah. Doing well. Then the land of distractions happen. I want to blame distraction, not my skills. It's easier that way for me. It's my coping mechanism. All right. Elden Warriors, great communing with you. I'm still going to be here, but I'm going to switch things over to Elden Ring, and so I have to switch for YouTube. Since you're on YouTube, I'm going to have to make a new screen, and so pretty much I close this stream and open another stream. So hope you're still here. I'm just giving you a heads up what I'm doing, and then also another heads up what we're doing. We we just need hope. And so how we look for hope is in King Jesus. He is the hope. He's not like, we don't have to follow a rule set, but we look to him. And so we're actually looking at the scriptures that point to him. And so you're welcome to join us on that. We're going to be reading a section of the First Testament, Old Testament together. Welcome to join us for that. I know I throw some people off, but here we are. With the amount of depression and just depression I have and what I have, like my brain wrestles with, I need that help. And so you're welcome to, I guess, wrestle out hope with each other. But yeah, switching YouTube Live. So if you're like, where did he go? Just refresh my channel and there'll be a new one up. Last time we asked if Elden Ring was a pie. Now the question is